welcome to the News at Gen for Monday, July 26th. It's Holistic Therapy Day, also All or Nothing Day, so twice the nothing for you, not them. Bubble tape references, gotta love it. Please hit the like and subscribe button because, well, I told you to, and you will listen to me. And fuck you, why did you do what I told you to do, news, is today's top story. In other words, the coronavirus. Again! Alabama is one of the states of the United States with the lowest vaccination rates, and Governor Kay Ivey says she has no idea how to persuade more people to get a shot. The governor and grandmother who wants to know if that's what you're wearing tonight insisted that she, quote, had done all she knew how to do. And she said to reporters, I don't know what to do. You tell me. The governor went on, folks are supposed to have common sense, but it's time to start blaming the unvaccinated folks. Which is true, kind of, I guess. But it's kind of disappointing to hear one of our leaders say, even if it is Alabama. In a state where less than 40% of people are vaccinated, the only real incentive that the vaccine is good and works. Well, that's it? That's all? It works? You don't die? That should be sufficient, but we all know it isn't. The state tried to give a couple laps around the track at Talladega, which was turned down because everyone would have to turn left on the raceway. Damn liberals. But Alabama has no plans, nor any discussions of plans to use federal money for this purpose to incentivize COVID vaccinations. A representative of Alabama said the attitude seems to be amongst folks that this is pretty much over with. And the ones that have gotten the vaccine have gotten it, and the ones that don't want to get it, they just don't want to get it. So I don't know that any incentives would work anyway at this point.
If you feel that life is a real bitch, then you really have to show it. If you're sad, depressed, and lonely, don't clap your hands.
But giving up isn't the only thing some people are doing. Some are actively fighting against vaccinations. When President Biden floated the idea of door-to-door visits to deliver information, not shots, mind you, but information, those people that you would expect had reactions that made me think of the death panels. For example, Madison Cawthorn, young conservative douchebag, said that government shouldn't be going to door and implied that such things would create a huge database that clearly doesn't already exist. Clearly, there are no databases of addresses and names that anyone could get a hold of, even at Google or Facebook or the IRS or the post office. Then Madison, my staff is more comms than legislation, Cawthorn said that it was the first steps to take guns and Bibles out of the home. And I don't understand why he would care that someone took a book he clearly has never read and clearly never will. Then Madison's summer trip to Hitler's villa, Cawthorn totally did a quiet part out loud and said that he wanted to prosecute Dr. Fauci for some reason, which is entirely unclear because, again, Cawthorn is a fucking shallow-minded fool of a man interested more in optics and showing up on Fox News and Fox News Plus and Fox News Double Plus than actually doing anything. Speaking of Fox News, their vaccine coverage has been positively and negatively charged. You might have Sean Hannity delivering a trust the science message, clearly written by attorneys. That was on Monday, and then the channel issued a public service announcement encouraging the vaccine. But nobody told former bow-tie douche-in-chief Tucker Carlson. He said, speaking not of his channel but of a rival this week, as a channel, CNN shouldn't have a position on whether you should take the medicine or not because it's a news channel, not a health agency, Carlson said. And then later he added, why isn't News Channel doing this? Any news channel. A lot of them are. Of course, Hannity, never one to let a crisis go to waste, said then that he never said for anyone to take the vaccine. Of course, 99% of people who are dying of coronavirus are unvaccinated, and that means about 1% are. Those are better odds, aren't they? At least until the fuckwits that remain unvaccinated allow themselves to become petri dishes of evolution and the virus mutates into something even more deadly, even to those with the vaccine. Thanks, guys. And I guess you can say they told you so. The vaccines don't matter. Because, to borrow a phrase, life and death finds a way. Note to self, put a joke here. Shit. In good news, this happened in Montana.
I don't care, man. Okay, just do. You are the worst human being known to mankind. I want you to know that what you have done to this state, to the United States, to everything else in this world. I don't care that your daughter's here. What you've done to people's families, what you have done to everybody else in this society. Son, don't come.
Tucker, for the record, did handle it maturely, telling the man to, quote, settle down, son, because nothing settles a man down like telling a man to settle down, son. In irony news, a California vaccine skeptic died of COVID-19. He was a certain level of proud of his ignorance, tweeting, if you're having email problems, I feel bad for you, son, but 99 problems, but a vax ain't one. And then, later, he said, please pray, y'all. They really want to intubate me and put me on a ventilator. This fellow, Stephen Harmon, he wrote on social media one Sunday, if you don't have faith that God can heal me over your stupid ventilator, then keep the hell out of my ICU room. There's no room for here. There's no room in here for fear or lack of faith. Harmon later tweeted that he had decided to opt for intubation as his condition worsened. He died, and he was 34. There's no real joy in that. Sure, I mean, there's irony. I've been reading a lot of Bergson lately. So, though I am sure that man would have voted for me to not be able to be myself, or against me to marry, or probably would just call me a man, I just wanted people to know, I just want people like him to be better. I know people like that. That kind of willful ignorance brings me no joy. His story kind of reminds me of that story where the man is told to evacuate a village, that it's going to be flooded, and then he says no, because God will save him, and then people come in boats to rescue him, and he says no, and then he gets stuck on the roof of his flooded home, and then a helicopter gets turned away before he dies in the flood. And when he gets to heaven, he asks God, why didn't the Lord save him? And God said, save you? I warned you. Then I sent a boat, and then a me-damned helicopter. What else did you want? In bait and switch news, Barack was indicted earlier this week. Of course, that is Tom Barack, associate of Donald Trump. He was released on a $5 million bond, and no word if there's some kind of weird Netflix deal involved. The Trump associate was charged with several things related to be a back channel for the United Arab Emirates to the Trump White House. So, that's pretty normal, I guess. Also in Trump news, Tom Brady visited the White House. The Super Bowl champion quarterback said that 40% of people didn't believe that he had won the Super Bowl with his team.
We got on a roll. Not a lot of people, think that we could have won. And in fact, I think about 40% of the people still don't think we won.
I understand that.
You understand that, Mr. President?
I understand that.
Yeah. And personally,
Just like the president. Get it? Get it? Get it? Get it? It's kind of funny. And last Trump-adjacent news, thank fuck. My representative, Adam Kinzinger, humbly accepted appointment to the panel investigating January 6th. He is one of the few Republicans that voted for the impeachment. I mean, he's right here, but don't let that fool you. He's an asshole all the same. But begrudging respect is all he deserves after a long career of ignoring his constituents. In hazy news, the sky. Wildfires in the West have put out so much smoke into the atmosphere that they are generating their own weather systems. They also have made the skies hazy across the entire United States and made the sun appear red, like some kind of metaphor I read once in The Red Badge of Courage. In video game news, the video game Destiny was given a boost by a Major League Baseball team, who will be changing their name from the Cleveland Indians to the Cleveland Guardians. Eyes up, that's a fly ball into your face. Even Eris Morin could have seen that coming, and she doesn't even have eyes. Yes, I'm a nerd. In sadly real news, the state of Mississippi formally asked the United States Supreme Court to reverse the landmark decision Roe v. Wade, which allowed pregnant people to have abortions based on privacy rights. They called Roe and other subsequent decisions egregiously wrong, and that abortion has no right in text, structure, history, or tradition. I mean, pregnant people have been having abortions as long as they've been able to figure out how to induce them. But go off. None of those really matter anyway, because personal bodily autonomy should be sufficient. Jesus never said anything about abortion, but unfortunately, given this court's 6-3 conservative makeup, Roe may be overturned. I guess the government has the power to dictate that. Maybe if a woman shot herself in the stomach, it would be okay. Second Amendment and all. In comedy news, seminal Borscht Belt comedian Jackie Mason died yesterday. He was 93, and his last words were reportedly, "Caddyshack 2, please forget about it." Don't worry, Jackie. We all got our terrible jokes, like this one. You'll be missed. Also in comedy news, Jeff Bezos rode a dick into space, penetrating the final frontier for billionaires and beating Branson's space plane altitude by about 15 kilometers. When asked what Bezos missed most in his time in space, he said, "My money." Critics say that this was a fantastically wasteful use of money designed for a man who clearly got too wealthy for his own good, and that it served as an example of the vast wealth discrepancies of the United States and across the entire globe. In response, a spokesman for Bezos' company, Blue Origin, said, "Yes, and?" In video game news, Activision/Blizzard is being sued by the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing for discrimination against women, including some rather explosive revelations that men would delegate responsibilities to women, joke about rape, talk about sexual exploits. Further, women were kept from higher level roles and access to decision makers in the company. A company spokesman said, "Before you judge, what if we said Diablo 4? That's the news at Gen for July 26th, 2021. Please remember to hit like and subscribe. If you're a patron, you'll see that I put up a video of me doing stand-up from last week up there. And if you're not a patron, you'll see a nothing in the void of where your soul should be. Thank you to my patrons, including a new one, which is pretty amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. For them and everyone else, and for you, thank you for your time. And please remember, I love you.